Hi guys, I hope you're all well. Recently on Instagram I've created 2 different videos to give some tips to help with hunger within a fat loss phase. However, because Instagram only allow for 1-minute videos, there's only so much information I can include within that short time frame. Therefore I've decided to do a YouTube video where I discuss both in a little bit more detail. Now firstly, we just need to appreciate that within any given fat loss phase, unfortunately there's going to be some hunger within any given fat loss phase. Now the severity of this will depend on a couple of different factors, first of which would be how lean you are throughout the fat loss phase. So the leaner you are, by default you're just going to be more hungry. Unfortunately that's the case. And a second consideration would be how aggressive you're being with the energy deficit. So the more aggressive you are in terms of decreasing calories and adding more cardio to increase expenditure, this will obviously have an impact on hunger as well. So these 2 factors will contribute to more hunger within a fat loss phase. But the reality is, unfortunately, some hunger is going to happen within any given fat loss phase. So a couple of different tips which I discussed on Instagram, the first of which is to increase your fibrous vegetable intake. Now this is important for a couple of big reasons. The first of which is fibrous vegetables are obviously high in fibre, and fibre helps to keep you fuller for longer. So as such, this is one really good benefit of having more fibrous vegetables within your diet, and this will help decrease cravings as well. But the other big benefit to having lots of fibrous vegetables, if you think about it, the actual calories and carbohydrates within fibrous vegetables are very low compared to the volume of food. So for example, by having a large amount of fibrous vegetables on your plate within any given meal doesn't really make a significant dent into your calorie and carbohydrate target. So therefore, having as many fibrous vegetables with every meal can really help to, 1, allow you to eat more volume of food, but 2, just psychologically it's a really big positive because it makes you think you're eating more than you actually are. So you're not really making a big dent into that calorie or carbohydrate target. Now that being said, it's imperative you do still track the calories and carbohydrates within fibrous vegetable. They are still calories, so I don't think I can eat as many of these as I want. That's not the case. Make sure you're still tracking this, but you'll be surprised at how much you can fit within your meals without making a big dent into your calorie and carbohydrate target. So hopefully that first tip has been useful. The second tip is to appreciate that most people typically are more hungry later in the day. So as such, a way to help blunt hunger later in the day is actually to move more of your calories later in the day as well. So by using a tactic where you're moving more of your calories later in the day, this can help blunt hunger. This is another useful tip. Now keep in mind that timings of meals doesn't matter with regards to optimizing fat loss. So it's more about the daily calorie and macronutrient targets met by the end of the day rather than the timing. So don't fall for the myth that you can't eat any food after 6 p.m. And this really helps massively, and this is something I do personally. This is something a lot of my clients do, is moving more of their food intake later in the day. The only point I would make is, don't feel like you have to stick with this if you're in a fat loss phase. Ultimately, just let your personal preference dictate where you consume your foods throughout the day. However, having more food later in the day can really be a useful tactic to help decrease hunger later in the day. So hopefully these 2 tips will really help next time you're in a fat loss phase, or if you're in a fat loss phase now, start implementing these 2 tactics. Thank you very much for watching. If you're still yet to subscribe to the channel, please do like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll look forward to speaking to you soon. Take care.